Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out PITBULLS. This is a fast-paced card game where you're a trader on Wall Street. Now, it's important to stress that what you're looking at here is a prototype copy of the game. The game is due to hit Kickstarter soon. I don't know the exact date, but from my understanding, it will be fairly soon. Here's a quick look at the prototype rulebook. It is about 17, 18, 19 pages. There are simple rules, and then there's more advanced rules in the back of the rulebook, so anyone can really get into this game. Speaking of which, it supports 6 to 12 players, and it's for ages 13 to adult. The average play time will vary depending on how quickly the rabbits in this game reach the finish line. So what do I mean by rabbits? I mean, the game is clearly called PITBULLS, right? Well, this is kind of a take on the whole stock market, where companies will be, increasing or decreasing in value over time. But in PITBULLS, they sort of replace companies with rabbits that are racing down a track. And you need a digital device in order to simulate this, and I'll show you that in a moment. I wanted to quickly show you an overview of what you get in the box. So there are 8 different trading cards of different colors, and during the game, players will be shouting out in between rounds, "I'll buy 3 green at 20, or, I'll sell this for this," so it's, when you think like Wall Street and you see these brokers on the pit floor, whatever that's called, shouting out, "I need this, and I want to buy for this, and I want to sell for this." That's kind of the hecticness of this game. It's supposed to be loud, and it's supposed to be hectic. Players will start with a portfolio of about $400, and I think the rulebook explains what that's made up of here. So for example, yes, so you can start that in cash or cards. You can start off, for example, in example 1, player 1 assembles a portfolio of $200 cash plus 16 cards. Each card is worth $12.50. So that would add up to 400 total. So players will have a starting portfolio with a mix of money, which is this. Okay, cool, like paper money. And then various trading cards, which again come in 8 different colors. These colors correspond to the bunny colors that you'll see on the digital part of this in a little bit. They are double-sided for the purposes of this prototype, but again, I have to stress, everything that you're seeing here, rulebook, cards, components, all of this is subject to change. For example, I was told that these would no longer be double-sided but single-sided. That way, if you're hiding, if you opt to hide your trading cards from other players, which is a valid strategy, then having a back like this would more than likely help with that. Because as it stands, players can easily see what you have, unless you've got like a screen or something. So components definitely subject to change. These will eventually be, like one-sided at some point with a back that's obviously blocking the other side. But look at these are all trading cards, guys. These are all trading cards, and the paper money are in these bags here. I mean, you're going to get a lot of value. The reason for that is, like I said, this is a 6 to 12 player game. Could you play this with fewer than 6? I suppose it's possible. But it's going to be a little less hectic, and I feel like there are a number of variants in the back of the rulebook that kind of touch on this, but I feel like it would be beneficial to come up with an official like 1 or 2 player game, or just something that players can sort of have fun with the stock market and still enjoy their experience without all that hectic yelling. So it's possible that something like that may be coming down the line. I could think of a few suggestions on how to make this a solo or 2-player game, but that would involve, reprogramming the app and allowing for such rules. But anyway, PITBULLS. So this is the physical portion of it. It also came with this, I guess it's a keychain and some nice, button pins, which is kind of cool, and some stickers. So that's appreciated. There's also these broker cards. Broker cards are part of the advanced game. You don't have to use these if you don't want to. But in essence, each player will have one of these at all times. And at any point they complete what's on the broker card, they get an extra buck with their transaction. So if you buy a share of pink before the end of the current round, then you have this. And let's say you buy pink and you say, oh, look, I've got this card here. Well, you also get a bonus buck for completing that. So there are different cards that have different objectives on them, and by completing these objectives, you're going to get some extra money. Like I said, in the back of the rulebook, there are some advanced variants where one player sits out of the game altogether but manages the money and the trading. Ideally, the developer was saying that he and his vision is to create a game of like 100 people where there's a blue sector for blue cards and a green sector for green cards and a red sector for red cards. And then players are sort of like rushing back and forth between. Obviously, you're going to need a large room for that, like some sort of cafeteria hall. But I mean, that's his vision, which is kind of fun. I mean, I've never participated in anything that grand before, but that's what you're getting with PITBULLS as it stands. So again, there's a rule book and some components, lots of money, lots of trading cards, and players will be going from round to round trying to earn the most money possible based on the current track of the rabbits. Now, it's hard to really show you how that works, so let's jump over to my computer screen and show you what a couple of rounds might look like. All right, so what you're looking at is the digital portion of this game. You can run it in any browser. The website is playthetradinggame.com/rabbitrace. And if I remember, I'll put a link in the below description for you. This game is sort of actually based off of another game on their website. It's called The Trading Game, and it's similar to that, except this like rabbit race version is a lot more kid-friendly. So again, players will start with a starting portfolio of $400, a mixture of money and trading cards. And then they're going to, let's say, start the game. And here they've got a full minute to sort of hedge their bets on which bunny they think will do very well and which one they'll think will be very poor. So if you look on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little pie wheel, and you'll see where the rabbits stand right now. And you'll also see on the outside of this wheel are numbers: plus 29, minus 29, plus 29, plus 27. This is sort of like a roulette wheel that will spin, and these numbers will land on a colored bunny. Now, at the moment, each of these bunnies have an even chance of getting picked for something. Some won't be picked at all because only 4 numbers are there. So let's just go ahead and advance time and show you what that looks like. So the numbers have landed as such. So green and gray and blue will be moving ahead, but yellow will be moving backward. You can't move prior to 0. I mean, you're at the starting line at that point. So now you'll notice that this pie wheel for round 2 looks a little different. And you're thinking to yourself, yellow has a really good chance of moving forward this time around. All of the 4 numbers along the outside of this pie wheel are positive: plus 24, plus 30, plus 24, and plus 21. So there's a fairly good chance that yellow might be picked. But also look at pink. Pink actually has 2 pieces of the pie wheel, so it kind of looks like just has an equal chance, just like in yellow. Gray has a decent chance of well as being picked. So at this point, again, with that minute, players are able to yell out, I'll buy, pink at 30. Unfortunately, there's no like actual stock value. Like bunnies don't have a value at any point in time. Players have to come up with their own value based on experience and how well they'll think they'll do. So there's a little bit of math involved trying to figure that out. As you can see, the minute is up, and oh look, yellow and pink and gray were picked. So there you go, and a little bit of purple there. So now the bunnies move forward, and now we're on to round 3. It looks like the gray bunny is in the lead right now, but as you see from the pie wheel, it looks like red and orange have a very good chance of moving forward. However, there's a minus 22 here on the outside of that spinny wheel thing. So it's possible that they'll end up moving backwards, who's to say? And if it happens that a color is sort of picked twice because they're represented twice on the pie wheel, it takes the difference of the two. Okay, so if the plus 24 and the minus 22 both land on orange in this case, they would move forward by 2. This will continue with players shouting out, I'll buy this at this and sell this at this, trying to increase the value of their portfolio. This will continue several rounds until one bunny reaches the end. I'm going to hit test race finish, and this is what may come up. Okay. In this case, the final score, and this is where this is where players will earn the most points. They'll earn money for every gray card and purple card and blue card that they have in a particular value. So I think first place was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna shout out $50, and I think second place was like 30, and third place was like 20 or something per card, something like that. It's in the rulebook. I'll have to check later. But long story short, players will earn money for every card of that color they have in their hand at the end of the game or in their portfolio. So they are hedging their bets trying to make that particular bunny win if they have a lot of that color. And after that, they count up their money, and whoever has the most points wins. That, in essence, is PITBULLS. So again, I have to say this game is still like early development. Things are subject to change. And if you want to learn more about this game, I do have a written preview that will accompany this video. It goes more into the rules and how things play out, even touches on some of the variants in the back of the rule book. So after you're done watching this video, go to my below description and check out that written piece so you can learn more about it. And if, again, the Kickstarter project is live at that point, then by all means check out the Kickstarter project too. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.